let's get into it. I will make this very quick. I just wanted to make one updated change on my pre-market game plan, which is Nvidia. So everything else that I posted for the pre-market game plan yesterday, stick with that. The only thing I'm changing here is Nvidia, and this is why it's very important to always zoom out. I like to stay away from the charts on weekends, and then on Sunday, I like to just look over my game plan one more time going into the week. I thoroughly look over everything going into the week. Like I said, all the work is always put in when the market is closed. So this is just the updated version of Nvidia. Use this one instead of my pre-market game plan. Now let's get into it. Let's break this down. And this is why I always say the higher time frame, the trend is your friend. If you look at the pre-market game plan video for Nvidia, and even last week, I was saying that on the daily, this is a break of structure if we fall under 195.60. This is the updated version. That is incorrect. That is incorrect. I really had to thoroughly look over this, and I'm looking at this on my own, and I'm like, this doesn't look right. So clearly, clearly, look at the weekly. Look at the weekly. We are trending on the weekly. This is textbook. This is beautiful. Now, something that I did say in the pre-market game plan, because obviously here, until we break under 173, sorry, give me one sec, under 173.15, then we're bearish bias. But until then, you can clearly see, we are very bullish on this name, on the video, on the weekly. We are trending on the weekly time frame. Look at this. Since pretty much here, this thing has been straight up, dip, made new all-time highs last week or the week prior. So this is a very bullish name. But if you remember, I said I believe that this pullback this entire week was with the overall market. Remember, SPY and Qs pulled back all week, and it was a healthy pullback. We had a lot of gaps, a lot of thin volume to fill, and I believe that SPY and the Qs was just pulling Nvidia back. It was just pulling with Nvidia. And I'll go on Qs in a sec just so you can see the correlation. So that being said, we are bullish bias on this name 100%. Until we break under 173.15, we're bullish. You can clearly see that. So what I've really been trying to teach you folks is market structure, right? The trend is your friend. This is how you take higher probability setups. You have a high win percentage, is trading with the overall time frame. The dip is your friend, the trend is your friend. I've been trying to say that. Now, what do you see here? Trend, consolidation. What's next? Say it with me. Next leg higher or next leg lower. Now, clearly here, we're waiting for our next leg higher. We're very bullish. Now, since we were trending on the higher time frame on the weekly, this is normal. That's 100% normal. I've been trying to teach that, right? We trend, consolidation, next leg higher. We already have made all-time highs. So that being said, we are bullish bias on this name as long as we are above 173.15. This was just a big change that I wanted to make because I don't want you to go into the week with any wrong info. This is normal. That consolidation period, as we know, we stay away from channels, and we did our job doing that. So coming into this week, we're just waiting for our next leg higher to continue back towards all-time highs. Now, let me go here on the intraday. For me, coming in tomorrow on Monday, I'm looking for a long over 190.10, over 190.10, or a pullback long off of 184.50. This was just a pullback long. This is all this was. This was just a pullback long. Like I said, I'm going to go to Qs here in a sec just so I can show you the correlation of why I believe, or it is true that the Qs really pulled Nvidia back this entire week. And these two names were actually in sync. And I'm going to show you how in one sec here. So as long as we're above that key level, we are bullish bias on this name. So coming into tomorrow for me, my two key levels is the long over 190 or 184.50. Now, to me, this is really the A plus long going into tomorrow just because we'll also be over the previous day high. So when price opens above or below the previous day high or the previous day low, that shows that price is continuing higher or lower. So if we're not opening up and having an inside bar day, that's a higher probability setup. We know we're bullish. We know we're looking for longs on this name. And what I'll always teach you, straight up equals straight down. This is a lot of thin volume. That's a lot of thin volume. So I'm expecting something like that. We saw the big dip buy on the overall market this past Friday. So hopefully buyers stay in control and push this thing higher. Now, let's zoom out here on the 15. You see here, look at top left, 11.325. Each day, we've just been pulling back and we have buyers step up here and push this thing higher. Now, look at the correlation with Qs. No coincidence. Look at the correlation with Qs. Right, top left, 11.3, pulling back each day, buyer step up aggressively, push this thing higher. So when you look at Qs and you look at Nvidia, these two names are identical. Even look at this consolidation period before the sell-off on Nvidia, and then look at this consolidation on Qs before the sell-off, and then buyer step in aggressively. So that being said, I really just wanted to make that change. I did not want you going into the market on Monday looking to short under 195, even though we are still very bullish on the higher time frame. So that being said, you can clearly see here, we're bullish, buyer stepped up. This thing is still in play to the upside. I want to show you as well why I'm okay with taking trades in here, because our only two no trade zones on our chart is in here and in here. You can clearly see those are two no trade zones. We don't want that. What do I always say? Straight down equals straight up equals straight down. So I love this. I love everything in between here because it's nothing but thin volume. Price just runs up or down. So I'm very comfortable taking a trade in here. Tomorrow, the A plus opportunity, once again, A plus long, I would say, is over 190.10 because we're over the previous day high. This thing is continuing higher. Buyers stepped up very aggressively here when the Qs got the bounce as well, pushing this thing up. So I just wanted to make that very clear. But this is why, we always start out on the weekly, on the daily, and then on the 4 hour, and we mark out our key levels there. The higher the time frame, the better. And you can clearly see that on this weekly time frame, we are bullish bias. We are trending on the weekly. So once again, this consolidation period that we were seeing, that was normal, right? We trend higher, consolidation, next leg higher. So I just wanted to make that that updated correction for you. I did not want you starting the week off looking for shorts on a name that is bullish on the higher time frame, right? The higher probability setups come from trading with the overall trend, looking for pullback longs. Like I showed you all last week on my weekly cap review, every single trade that I took was long. Why? Because all these names are still trending to the upside. So just want to get this out there before the week starts. Sorry about that. Hope this helps. Everything else in the pre-market game plan, stick with it. That's what I'm sticking with. This is the only updated version, which is Nvda.